Hello! Welcome to Bad at Board Games.
Well, he's bad at board games, and I'm going to stay on this side and hope he stays on that side of the table.
He's the GOAT.
Hello and welcome to tonight's show.
You are absolutely
Hello and welcome
holding up
to
to
tonight's
every possible amount of annoyance that you have.
Hey, I'm staying on my side of the table.
Thank God. I'm seriously going to
Do you have
start building a wall.
PTSD?
I do. But, I've come back for more, apparently. Because even though I have PTSD, I like to finish lists. And so we are going to finish our lists.
All right. Who's going first today? What are we doing? What are they?
Yeah.
Do they know what they were doing?
So
If
let's
you
talk.
clicked on the thumb, you probably know what we're doing.
Are you done?
No.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So today we are going to continue our top 100 games of all times, or at least as of January 2024.
Mm-hmm.
And we are picking back up with the list. So we've already started this. And if you have not seen them, go watch those videos. There's a handful of them by now. Today we are starting with game number 40 and going down to game number 31.
It's getting good, and it's why a lot of the other lists got bumped from a lot of the games from here on up.
Yeah, if you have been watching the channel for a while, you probably are aware of what our top 100 games, or at least our top 10, 15 games are. For a long time, they were very similar, minus, the best game of all wasn't on Brad's list. But,
Didn't make my top 100.
yeah, he just doesn't
garbage.
understand good gameplay. But lists this year have gotten changed up quite a bit. You'll see maybe some similarities, but you definitely will probably see some new things and some reordering and numbering and all that kind of fun stuff. So I say we get into it and start talking games.
All right. I have the biggest game on this list,
So apparently you're going first.
and it's the most expensive on this part.
Yeah, that's more expensive than my games.
Oathsworn, number 40. Number $350 in my heart.
There's a part of me that is surprised this is number 40 on your list. But, with all the games, it's got to
Yeah.
fall somewhere.
Yep. No, I've got 10 games in, which is probably 30, 40 hours into this game. Done enough now that I can do a review. I've got this, November, I think? November,
you-
October. No, October. Yeah, I think it's November. Might have been October.
Well, Oathsworn.
I got this 2 weeks after I got Kingdom of Death
Yes.
Monster,
Yeah,
when I thought I wasn't going to get this until December.
that's
So
right. Yeah,
I
so
finally couldn't. I'm just like, I want one of these games. So, yeah, I couldn't wait. But, so
you dug into this before Kingdom Death, I think, didn't you?
uh-uh.
Oh, okay.
I
thought
dug
you
into
did.
the other.
That was the problem.
That was the problem.
It would be
That was the
higher on
problem.
his
I got
list
the
if
other
not.
one. But I was playing both of these at the same. Basically, I started both of these at the same time.
Yeah.
Now Ashby's playing through this with me.
Nice.
So.
Nice. He has another friend.
I do.
I'm being replaced.
Because my other friend, has school.
I'm sorry for trying to better myself.
I'm sorry too.
Thanks, friend.
Well, I'm sad when you're not around, so I gotta find something else to
Let's
do.
just say that I've never been invited to play Oathsworn. So we see where.
What do you do on
friendships-
Saturday nights?
I work.
Hence why he hasn't been invited to play.
So only Oathsworn on Saturday nights, nothing else, no other time.
One of these days.
Yeah. So what's your favorite thing about it?
I don't know. It's a good dungeon crawl. I mean, it's and I don't want to spoil the review I'm going to do, but it's a if you're looking for a dungeon crawl game, this is a good one. I do recommend it. I got the all in. I actually is probably one of the few I would recommend getting the all in because I like the terrain and having the 3D houses, and I like having all the miniatures, and I like having the upgraded dice, and I like having the upgraded dice tray, and almost in this one, except for was a secret mystery box, which was dumb. It was a dumb thing in it, to be a mystery box, but nothing playable or anything. But other than that, I like every upgrade that came in the all in. Most of the time, you get stuff like here's a picture book.
Mm-hmm.
You never look at it after the first time. It didn't really have any of the garbage.
Like Beast.
Yes. Like Beast. His head. Here's the game.
Yeah.
So and good things to make the game play, I guess.
Would you say this has replaced what's it called? Oh my goodness, I forget the name of the game. It's like top 100, like top 1 game. It's finally been dethroned.
Oathsworn?
No.
Not Oathsworn.
Yeah.
Gloomhaven.
Gloomhaven. Yeah.
Sorry.
Wow, that was way too
Yeah,
hard.
that was. Sorry, my brain went sideways. Would this replace Gloomhaven? No.
Okay.
They're different enough. Like
Okay.
this is a boss battler. So you're using the app to go through and have the story time, and then you have a map. But like Oathsworn, or Gloomhaven, I kind of feel like it's more like D&D. This isn't like D&D. This is a boss battler, and less of a dungeon crawl. So like you're not doing the dungeon part really. There's it's like part of the story, and so it's a little different. So you're not like, I got to go find whoever.
Mm-hmm.
It is Kingdom Death Monster meets Gloomhaven, closer to Kingdom Death Monster, and then they've got an app and stuff like that. So
awesome.
I think it was trying to be a more accessible KDM. I would say they succeeded there. Is it better? Watch my review when I finally put it up.
Or the rest of the top 100 games. See if it hits. Maybe it's not on there, but we'll see.
All right. Oathsworn. It's a good game.
Awesome. My number 40 game is a game I've been playing for a very long time. And it's one I love to play with both beginner gamers, or at least beginner hobby gamers, or experienced alike. It's Carcassonne.
Yep. And I like this in the app a lot.
I have never played this on the app. Yeah, I need to give that a try sometime. I might. I don't really do like app-driven games or like any of the online simulators, things like that. I'm not very big in that, but something like this I might actually enjoy on the app.
It's nice because like on your phone, it's not, you can still kind of see, and then it's just like if me and you were playing, I would play, and then like when you had lunch, you'd be like, oh, I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of them that I think's well done. You don't need to see super tight. And
that's, I think, one of the things that would make it good.
yeah.
So I love this game. Tile laying, you can get some fun like moves in, a little bit of strategy. It's not overly complex, but you can do some kind of fun things. And I always like it when you've got like 4 people battling for the same city, and eventually the city kind of all meshes together, and then it's like, okay, now who actually owns the city?
Or when somebody like is able to come in and steal your city that you've been working on
at the absolute last minute.
Yes.
Brad likes to do things like that.
I'm not good at that. No, it's not like I wouldn't want to do that.
I didn't
but
say
it's
you
like
succeed
I'm not good
at it. Yeah, I didn't say that you succeeded. I just said you like to do things.
Oh
like
yeah,
that. Yes,
it would be great. But, yeah,
awesome. Well, this one will always be in my collection. I don't think it will ever leave. Just such a fun game, and I don't have a lot of expansions for it, so it's still fun with just the base game. One of these days, Alex has, I think, all of it.
Yeah, he has the big box.
Yeah, and I want to play through some of the things I've not played expansion wise.
Yeah. The next game is by, I claim it's our favorite publisher.
Oh yeah.
As it felt.
Board and Dice.
Yes, it's a Board and Dice. Tekenu.
This
So number 39 is Tekenu from Board and Dice, and I think for the most part their wheelhouse of Euro games are right in our enjoyment level of Euro games. I like this one a lot. I've talked about it every time it comes up. When there's dice, rolling dice, placing dice, using those dice to take actions, I'm a fan. So this is really cool with the daylight and nighttime phases and the different tracks that you're trying to have, and then
seeing the sun kind of move around the obelisk and what goes into
and
shadows.
Then, trying to get the points off of your board and things like that. So I think Tekenu is a great game. I wish I had time to play it more.
Yeah, we've played this as a gaming group. Aisha kind of introduced Aisha introduced us to this game, and then I went and bought it, and then Brad went and bought it. And so now our gaming group has at least 3 copies available to us.
It was a really good deal on it, and I wanted it.
Yeah.
I definitely wanted to have this one in my collection versus most of the time if Toph has it, I don't go get it. But this one was different.
Yeah, we've got a couple games that overlap between us, but I had and there's another one that might pop up on my list that I'm even still considering picking up just for more solo play, to be able to play through it solo, but I haven't yet. So yeah.
So number 39 for me is Tekenu.
Board and Dice, they do good things.
I like it.
So awesome. Number 39 for me was one of the surprise games that Brad picked up at Gen Con. Got to find it. And that is the Guild of Merchant Explorers.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a great game.
AG put out a fantastic game with this, and I did not expect to like it. I didn't expect much of anything when he said, yeah, let's play this game. And I think both of us were more interested in wormholes, or there was something else that you had brought
I got
home.
this and wormholes at the same time.
Yeah, and I think both of us were so much more like, oh, this is going to be so much fun. And then when we finally sat down to play this
is great.
This is great.
Yeah, this is on my top 10 solo games of all time as well.
I need to solo this.
Yeah, it's just solitaire and you're just trying to beat your score, but I like solo games that play as though you're playing with another person there. And this is solitaire. You're trying to be efficient, but it's still a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm okay with the solo solitaire games.
Well, you prefer it. Well, not solo solitaire. You like Euro games where nobody can mess with your.
I do a lot.
This is that. Nobody can mess with your board, or your tableau, or whatever. You're going to be able to take your actions.
Yeah, unless it's something like one of the bonus cards or something like that. That'd be about it. But yeah, so this plays a lot of fun. There's some things in it that we did not expect. There's some game mechanics that just were fresh and just worked well. The way the market works and just kind of the route building aspect of it was a lot of fun, and kind of how you put things together and what it is to actually get the points that you need, and getting the cities to connect, and then not being able to use certain cities. We made some rules wrong in the very beginning on how to play, but we've thoroughly enjoyed all of it. So that's my number 39, the Guild of Merchant Explorers.
Yes, it's a great game. My next game I don't have. This is one of Tom Vassel's favorites. I think it's in his top 10. That I just watched again, but I wanted to play it because he was raved about it, right? And so it's one of those games. But I've only played it on BGA, and I really like it, and I like it without the expansions the most, and that's Nidavellir. So
say that again.
Yeah. So you're dwarves, but it's set collecting, and you're either going to try to get the purple cards, and those have a certain increase in number, or you're trying to get the pickaxes, which is the orange track, and that's a multiplier one, or another one where it skips numbers. There's the different colors and the way that they interact, and then when you get a row, you can go get one of the god cards, so to speak, and then that allows you to do something potentially. So I really enjoy playing it. I think it's fun. I like it at 3, 4, and 5 player or whatever. Like, I don't know if it goes 5, but I like Nidavellir. I think that's a fun game to play.
Yeah, that's one I'd like to play at some point. We've talked about that, but because you play it online, and you don't really prefer it at 2-player. If it plays 2, I don't even know if it does, but we play a lot of games 2-player, and so is it worth going to buy it to play a game at a play count that you'd prefer higher if it's going to mainly be you?
Well, we'd
playing?
have to play it at game night or something, but I enjoy it. It doesn't take long to play, so you could probably play it twice in an evening if you're going to have a game group play it.
Nice.
So I enjoy the game.
Awesome.
Nidavellir at number 38.
Fantastic. My number 38 is a game that Brad's already talked about, and that is Anno 1800. So this game is the Euro of Euros, I think. At least kind of the definition of a euro. Do this to get that, to turn into that, to turn into something else, to eventually get a coin, which might turn into a point. But it's so great. Like, to be able to build up your tableau, your city, and learn how to make buildings and things work together. So engine building, which I love. Work together to eventually maybe even convert them into something else. So kind of upgrading your tableau and working towards some of the big goals to get big points. I love that. That's what I like in a Euro game, is starting out small, not knowing where you're going to go, and then eventually starting to make it work and make it sing. So, trying to find the favor and pushing your little cubes around and spending them to do things.
Getting all the, I don't know, they're like little memory.
The tiles?
The tiles, yeah.
That's called a tile.
Well, Remember the game Memory? How it had little cardboard squares, and it's like there's a whole bunch of squares in this game that you have to set out in the stacks and everything, and you're trying to like get them.
That's the thing. I want to play this so much more. Yeah, I want to play this a lot, but the setup does take quite a bit of time. And every time I think about setting up all those pieces for a while, it's like, well, we could have played another game at that point in time, and so we do play another game at that point in time. So what I need to do is I need to bring this to game night, come over early, set it up so that when everybody else comes in, we can sit down and play a game of 4 and play through it. So, but Anno 1800.
Yeah, I've never played the video game that this is based on, but we like Martin Wallace games, and he did it really. This is different than the other Martin Wallace games that I've played too, which is interesting. Like he's feels like he's just a very good designer, and this doesn't feel like his other games at all.
Yeah. Well, he's got quite a bit of them too, so
yeah,
we hear about the bests and usually end up playing the ones that are at the top of the lists. But yeah, I know nothing about the video game. I don't know why this was something that I was like, yeah, I like that game because I've never played the video game, but the engine building, the Euro aspects of it, that's exactly what I love, and he did it in a good way. So
he did.
Anno 1800.
So the next one, my son took to college because it's one of his favorite games, and this is up here, even though it was also one of the games that I almost table flipped. You've never played it.
Oh, I was gonna say.
So this is Oath, Chronicles of an Empire in Exile. So it's a crazy. I can't recommend you go get it. Like that's the thing. It's an extremely good game. This is higher than Root. Like it's good. However, it's also very different. It's a very, very different game. And you literally can be like, oh yeah, I'm going to make that deal. And this is what happened with me and my son. We were just going to see what happened at the end if we did this deal. And then he completely didn't do the deal just to make sure he won. Like we were, and that's the game. That is literally like, but I was so mad because it was just like, we were just going to see what happened if we continued. And he went like, no, I'm not going to follow up on the deal.
I got a text message.
So mad.
I got a very angry text message. I thought there was going to be a murder. All of a sudden, Brad has one son, not two.
But it is, the artwork's the same as Root. It's asymmetric, but in a different way. You have to watch a playthrough because it's a different kind of thing. And then it has a campaign where, somebody is kind of like the overlord, right, of the area. And then, but if the person beats them, then they're now the overlord. So you kind of shift factions as you play through this. We haven't played enough to go all the way through the whole game, but it just makes it very interesting in how you're. And I wouldn't say it's area control. It's unique in a way that I've never played another game like it, and I think that's why I've got it so high on this list. Is that I didn't want it. I never wanted anything to do with it. My son found out it was by Leader Games, read about it, and was like, "I absolutely want that for my birthday." We played it, and I'm like, "This is a good game. It really is a good game." But oh my goodness.
Yeah, there's a reason I don't play a whole lot of games with his kids.
But it's not. But at the same time, it's not a battle game.
No,
but
it
kind of is. But it's like I said, it feels extremely unique, unlike anything you've ever played.
Yeah, so. I might at some. I would be interested in playing it. I would like to play it with people that are not so cutthroat, ruthless, going back on deals, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
don't play with my kids.
No, and I've learned that, so I'm not going to. But not saying I enjoy playing games with your kids, but they definitely. The Eurogamer in me is as far away from that feel of I control my own destiny when I play with your boys.
Yep.
So
that is Oath, Chronicles of Empire and Exile, number 37.
Nice. My number 37 is by what I think we have established to be one of our favorite
designers, publishers?
Not publishers. I can't think today. It's all good.
Back to Board and Dice.
So, back to Board and Dice. Yes. So this one,
higher on your list than mine.
It is higher on my list than yours. I knew that would be based on like the first 10 minutes of gameplay. But Teletum or Tiletum or however you want to pronounce it, Teletum just is, again, it goes back to the Euro aspect of these games, you're going to start to notice now a very big trend in my games. I love it. There's a tightness to this game that I think all of the T games tend to have a tightness. They're just a little bit different how they're done. And this one I think is the furthest away from some of the other T games that we have played in terms of how maybe where the tightness kind of falls. And there were some things that I can't say we were all cracked up about, kind of like the favor track and, are you in favor with the king? Are you not? Are you losing some like that? I don't think we really loved that aspect, but at the same time, there were moments that aspect just kind of screamed, well, we did, and where it kind of threw some points back and forth. And, the aspect, Brad says this all the time, and I think I'll agree. I enjoy this, the dice and how you use the dice and how it kind of plays, and to let them, it's going to be a little bit different than like Tekenhu, where you're navigating this wheel, same type of mechanic, but in a different way, or in Terracotta Army. They all play just a little bit different, even though they have some of the same looks to them. But I like this one where you're going out and you're actually going through the map and putting down your buildings, and you're making settlements. You're giving yourself ownership on the board. It's just it kind of plays. It reminds me of older games.
Like you're having to travel.
Yeah, you have to.
You know. So
yeah, and you're kind of chasing the markets, and where are the fairs going to be popping, or the festivals popping up, and do you really want to go to them? Well, you have to if you want to win the game. But you have limited resources, limited places in your tableau to be able to put things, which means all of you are somewhere held back because you can't do everything that you want to do, and that's the tightness that I like with this. So it feels like, oh, big map, I can go and do things, and then you're like, oh wait, I don't have the space to do big things that.
Or am I going to get there before
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Ashby or Brad does, or something like that, right?
Yeah. So it's a fun one. I enjoy it. T games are good. Board and dice make good games. So thank you, Daniel Tashini and Simone Luciani.
There you go.
That was what, 37?
37, Tiletum. My number 36. I'm doing a bad job.
We need
one of the biggest, most popular games in recent history, right, is Dune Imperium at number 30-something, 36. 36, Dune Imperium. This is the game that Toph didn't like the very first time he played it.
I didn't.
What are you talking about?
At all.
This is worker placement, and it has
deck building.
It's a deck builder worker placement thing. So I'm thinking 2 of your favorite mechanics.
Yeah,
and worker placement being the first of your favorite mechanics. And then I finally sat him down and made him watch Dune, and then all the pieces came together because he understood what spice was and all this other stuff.
Yeah. Well, I still don't fully understand, but I understand it a whole lot more to where maybe I enjoy the game now.
I like this with the Dreadnought expansion because I like the fact that Dreadnought is a stronger worker, and I find that actually helps, and then having that extra track. That I don't know about. We've played with both expansions, but that's the one out of the
I think
the
that's
two.
Immortality.
Yeah, I don't. But either way, the one with the Dreadnoughts, that's the one I recommend.
It doesn't only have Dreadnoughts, by the way.
No, it has some other stuff,
Yeah.
but that's the defining item of it.
Yeah, it kind of balances out some of the other areas of the board as well.
Yeah. So
yeah.
But it's a good game. So Dune is my number 36, and I think it's top 10 in the people's.
And I think it should be. Like I think it's a fantastic game. I didn't. Some games you don't need to know the theme to be able to play them. I love theme, I do, but with this one, I felt severely disadvantaged to the point of I just was confused the whole game. Like I didn't know anything that was going on, and the whole time Brad kept saying it's worker placement, it's deck building. Why don't you like it? But it just I didn't understand is it guilds or factions? I don't know it well enough to know all the words, but all the different factions on the houses. That's what it is up the side, and to understand what they meant, and like now I have a little bit better idea of it, so it plays a whole lot more enjoyably.
So,
I support that on your list.
Yeah, it's a good one.
We'll see if it makes my list.
Alrighty.
So, my number 36 is a game that Brad and I enjoy playing together because you can only play it 2-player, and that is Seven Wonders Duel.
And this is one of the 2-player games he's started to win it.
Yeah, I generally don't win at 2-player games.
Watch some of our other videos, and you'll see all these 2-player games. One of them might be on this list, coming up on this list. But,
One of them was on my last list.
Yep.
Yeah, or one of them. But yeah, Seven Wonders Duel. I love Seven Wonders. It's a fun game. I know you don't enjoy it quite as much.
I don't enjoy it as much anymore.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to really play Catan anymore. I'll play Seven Wonders, but it's fine.
Yeah. The one thing I will
it was
never
great
do
at the beginning, but now it's fine.
And it definitely, I think for a lot of us, had a place.
Mm-hmm.
I still enjoy it. I still bring it out mainly with newer players. It's like, oh, hey, let me teach you something different, because it is very different than especially non-hobby board games. But the one thing that they did terribly in that game is try to make up a 2-player variant. It's awful. Don't try it. It's not worth it. Seven Wonders Duel is absolutely fantastic. In fact, I think it's much better than Seven Wonders.
I think, I mean, I enjoy playing this a lot.
Yeah.
I like flipping over the tiles and seeing the tech trees, how they play out, and how are you going to, grab something and get it before Toph can get it, things like that.
Yeah, it's different drafting, and it is maybe almost a little bit more competitive with the way the drafting works. I absolutely like that. And the way the wonders work too. Instead of having only one wonder, you're working on building more if you can. And we don't have the expansions. I don't know if you've played any of the expansions. I have not yet. I am interested in one of them, but not the other. I think there's 2 major expansions for it, but I don't need it. We don't play it enough. And so just the base game itself is plenty enough for me. But it's fun. The struggle back and forth with the military on the track. I know you really like that a lot. Usually you end up destroying me in that. Well, the last time.
But at the same time, you take what you're given, but there is there's a bit of strategic play in this, because you can kind of see what's happening. And so it's not just like flip over and, this is what you have.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm better at like being able to see, I want to go for that thing. And if I can't go for that thing, I'm going to go look and see what I can go for.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Brad is definitely the strategy player between us. And so you win it a good bit, but I have started coming back and winning a little bit too.
You won the last one for sure.
Oh, we'll keep it that way.
What number is that?
So that was Seven Wonders Duel, number 36.
Number 36. So my number 35 is Toph's game.
Okay.
He has not won at it.
Weird pause, but I haven't won at it.
He hasn't won.
Well, there's a lot of them.
And this is the 2-player game. One of the 2-player games that we've talked about that Toph doesn't win at, but I do.
I don't know if I've won it ever.
Not against me, at least. I like that. Anyway, I saw this Gen Con when it came out, and the big wooden pieces, and I was just like, the table presence had nothing for me, and I'd already bought a bunch of other things, so I was like, I'm going to skip on this. This doesn't look that interesting. Shut Up and Sit Down was like raving about it, and I'm like, all right, but I'm still not going to get it. And then Toph got it, and we played it. And you bought this from Derek?
I did. Yep.
And I really enjoy this game. I like the 2 phases of the game, chaining the cards together to, make the resources work in your favor, and creating this, I don't remember honestly, I don't remember the resources, but taking this resource and turning it into this one, and then finally victory points and so forth. So this one was I really enjoy Furnace.
It's a good engine builder, and it is what I wish you got the enjoyment out of Terraforming Mars for. Bless you. Because the engine building in this I see kind of akin to that, where you have to react a lot to it, but what can I do and how can I make it work in my favor, and kind of chaining things,
But you can see what's out.
Yeah, with this you can see the cards.
You can
that
see
is
what's
a big
out
difference.
versus
But
Terraforming Mars. Like I said, my biggest problem with Terraforming Mars is I don't know what's in the deck.
Yeah.
And then if you just don't get good stuff, or you don't understand which ones work together, then it doesn't.
Yeah.
Like this one I can see, and I can plan.
Yeah.
It
also is
strategic versus,
tactical play.
Tactical play.
It's also much shorter.
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, this is a lot shorter of a game. It's like, what, 25, 30 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
So,
So But yeah, I really was. This one shocked me.
Mhm.
This one shocked me. I thought I was gonna hate this, and I don't.
Yeah, I was a little nervous because when Derek had it for sale, and I was like, I'm interested in this. He was like, yeah, we didn't like it, and I'm like, okay. And I didn't yet know him and his play preferences well enough to. I questioned it for a little bit, and then I was like, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take a risk. I'm gonna go ahead and buy it, and glad I did.
Yep.
Glad I
really
did.
enjoy it.
So, my number 35. I don't know if you have played it yet.
Okay.
And I want you to play it at some point. We have played it at the gaming group, but you were painting your house to sell it.
Oh.
So,
I know.
And
Yeah,
I think
know what this is.
I think we played it at least once.
Yeah.
And that is Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition. And
Yep. I had to paint.
yes. So Jamad and I sat down and played it together, and he won. And I think he actually did.
Yeah.
So this is the expansion, the Kickstarter with all three of the expansions for it, and I honestly have not played all three of them yet, but I do like this game solo a lot, and it does the expansions do add in some good options for solo play.
Cool.
Yeah, it does some pretty cool things. So it's a fun game. Plays a little bit quicker than its big brother, Terraforming Mars. It does play different, so I don't enjoy it quite the same. Like I don't get the same feel, but the more that I play it, I do start to see where some of the feel is in the
Well, you
the
got
two
your little
games.
engine going, right?
Yeah, you still have things that's quite noticeable.
Yeah.
But I guess when I think Terraforming Mars, I think the synergy of the cards and learning how to play them and react to what it is you have in your hand. And this doesn't have quite as many cards, although now it does with the expansions. But well, not quite the same, but a lot. But it's just different. So you get a little bit of the feel, and the more I play it, the more I do get the feel of Terraforming Mars with it. And it's good. I love Terraforming Mars solo, but this one I think is almost creeping up to be a better solo game than its big brother, which is one of my favorite games and one of my favorite solo games too. So yeah, this is definitely taken over. It's also shorter. That helps pull it off the shelf at home to play a solo game. So, but Ares Expedition.
Cool. So my next one's been on my list since the beginning, and it's a super filler game. And if you like chaining, if you don't know if you like chaining, this is what I recommend spending $10 to $20 on to find out. If you like a chaining mechanism,
Space? Oh,
Super Mega Lucky Box. So it is Gamers Bingo, and when you get a bingo, you get another number, and then you can take that another number and put it on another card or another spot, and you can try to chain multiple things. So if as we talk about a chaining mechanism for $10 to $20, you can find out if you're going to like it or not instead of going and buying a $40 or $50 or $100 game.
This is a great game.
And kids can play this, moms, grandmas,
Yep.
It's basically a universal kind of thing. So that's what I like about it. It's easy to pull out. I've got close to 50 plays of this, and I bet I haven't played it in the last 6 months. Like, it was just one of those that's easy to play. And we asked my stepson, like, what's one of the favorite ones? And this was one of them that he talked about.
And it's good. We used to play this a lot at game group at the end of the night.
Yep.
And just kind of, we've got 20 minutes. Let's pull out Super Mega Lucky Box.
Yeah. Now it's Scout.
Yeah.
So Scouts replaced this as far as the end of the game night if we have time.
I think I do. Now that I've played Scout a few times, I've played it more than a few times, but I've played it a handful of times enough. I like it. It's a good game. I do enjoy it, but I think I like that one better.
That one's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just we haven't played it for a while, so now I really want to play it.
There you go.
Yeah.
So Super Mega Lucky Box is my number 34 from Game Right.
Awesome. My number 34, Brad absolutely loves.
Lying.
I'm lying.
I can tell by the tone of his voice.
Wouldn't you love if it was
Terraforming Mars dropping 34 points? Yes, I would love that.
Yes. This one definitely did not make his list. It is Blood Rage.
I wanted to love this game.
You did.
But it's area control.
How funny is it that I like this game and you don't?
Yeah. It was like, and he bought it.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm excited. I've been wanting to play that. Like, every time I've tried to play this, it just has fallen apart.
Yeah. This was my birthday gift to myself.
Yes.
I think last year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Blood Rage. It is area control. It's not war. It's not like it doesn't have the feels of games that I always equated area control to. It has kind of a civilization-esque feel as you are improving your clan. So as you're, getting new things that are going into your tableau and kind of giving you maybe special, I don't want to say abilities, but abilities in essence, Um, I like it. I think this is when I started coming more around to area control, because I think I always equated area control to war or battle. Yeah. And it's very much a very different thing. Now there is conflict in this. So not saying that there's not conflict, but it's fun. You're playing cards, the way the battles occur, it's not overly high stress. It is stressful enough, I think, for me to where I still enjoy it, and that heart rate goes up a little bit, but you're playing cards to mitigate. And if you lose,
but it's also a puzzle. You're not necessarily like, you're potentially setting things up to be like, I'm gonna lose that so I can win this.
Exactly.
This. And like, so it's not like, oh, I'm now just like,
and even if you do have a bad round
down to like one area and everybody's just gonna crush me the next, that doesn't matter in this.
It does not. No. And losing is not necessarily going to mean you're not going to win the game. And I think that's some of the fear that I don't like with battle and conflict heavy games. So this does not have that. There is definitely conflict in it. It's probably one of the more conflict heavy games on my list. But I still enjoy it a lot. So it's Blood Rage. Eric Lang, thank you. You've put out some fantastic games. We've already seen at least a couple of them on our list. We both had Ankh on the list, yeah. And neither of us have played Rising Sun.
Yeah, and I had the others on my list, didn't I? Up there.
Yeah, the others was not on my list.
Another Eric Lang game, but a good one versus many. And
was
by
it
CMON. And it's by CMON, so the miniatures are pretty slick.
It is, yeah. I want to paint it up. It'd be fun. So, Blood Rage, my number 34.
So my next one, I really had wanted for a long time, and it was out of print, and so it was like $200, $200 and some dollars. I was not going to play that. And then 25th Century Games finally,
yes,
did a Kickstarter, and I was like all in on that. I was just waiting. So raw, I think $100, and for the deluxe metal coins, big chunky everything, nice bag, $100, versus paying $200 for the real old version. What's his name? Rainer Knizia.
Yeah.
He doesn't work, but he's got about 1,500 games he's made.
Games. Yeah.
Yeah. But this is one of his staples, and I saw the Dice Tower play this 3 years ago. I don't know. It's been a while, and so I wanted to play it, and because it just looked fun, and I liked what was going on in the game, and I could never find it, and I was not gonna pay that much for it. So I enjoy it. Nice bidding game. Doesn't take long. I got absolutely destroyed in our 4-person game last week.
Wait, last week?
Week or two. It's been
me,
you, and Ara played it. Remember?
No.
Who was it?
It wasn't me. Thanks. I've been replaced.
I thought you were there.
Nope.
Anyway,
I haven't played this.
Maybe it was Alex and Ashby then.
It might have been. We played it at Game Group.
Well, we played it.
It's probably been 6 months since I've played this game.
Okay, so it wasn't him.
Yeah, not me. Not me. No, I haven't played a game with Ara for a long time. Well, Obsession was the last game that I played with Ara.
Okay, so within the last couple weeks, we played this again. But
it's so good.
Good game.
I had to look. I have it at 54.
And this is another one you were worried about because he doesn't like economy bidding games.
Yeah.
But
it's
once
different.
again, this doesn't feel like an economy bidding game at all.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad you picked it up. I thought it was going to be a game he'd pick up and I'd not play, but from the very beginning, I mean, I was kind of like, "Oh, that was okay," and then the next game, I was like, "Oh, okay, I like this. I see why it's good." Yeah.
I thought it would be longer. I thought it would take longer to play this game, and this game plays quick.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like within 30 minutes. Like you played this a couple times.
Yeah, maybe. Well,
like we
30
played
to 60.
30 to 60 minutes.
Yeah.
We played 4 players this last time, and I bet it didn't. We played it twice. That's how, like, it was snappy. We got through it. So it does move.
It's a good
one.
one.
It is, unfortunately, I think this was, I don't agree with Mike DeLisio. This was like his number one this year. but I do. This is a great game. You cannot get it right now. Hopefully, they'll do a Kickstarter quickly so that they can get this back out. But don't go out and pay $200 for this version or the old version or anything. Just it will come.
Yeah.
Just, you'll have to be patient, like I was. I waited 2 years for this sucker.
Yeah. And you don't have to have the deluxe version, but man, is it nice.
I think Brian, I can't remember who, one of our subscribers, he had the base, and then when I showed the deluxe, he sold the base and got the deluxe.
It's just,
I think it's
nice.
$50 for the base, but you don't get like the metal coins and some of the other stuff. And like, it is really, if you can afford it for $100, it was really worth it. I really felt like I got $100 worth of game.
Yeah. In the beginning, I didn't think it would be worth that much just looking at the pieces because, okay, they're bigger, like, they're thicker pieces, but it really does. For a game that plays quickly, you're going to play over and over and over again. The tiles look great. The tableau boards, it's all good. It's all nice. And so,
yeah, I do recommend it.
Good game. Well, me too. It was on my list, 54. So, awesome.
33.
My 33 I do not own. Brad does not own. Brad did own at one point, but one of you guys actually now own it. And that is Dominion.
Ah, yes. Somebody won it.
Somebody won it, yes. Dominion's, honestly, it's a little higher on my list than I thought it would be, but it's a deck builder. Like, it's not really deck builder.
Well, it is. It's the deck builder.
Yeah. I'm trying to think other mechanics in it. That's pretty much it. It plays relatively quick. It's not something that you have to overinvest in really getting to know all of these cards and pieces. Even if you're using the, like, not starter cards, but the randomizer cards to get your market out, it's still, you've got a set market, and everybody is pulling from the same thing. So everybody knows what everybody is capable of doing. And it's just, how are you going to get the cards in your hand and call your deck in the right way to be able to get the points? It usually ends up being tight, which I like in a game like that, where you don't know that you are blowing somebody away, or you don't feel like you're being just destroyed and stomped in the ground. Usually the games that I've played with different groups, so not just our group, but other groups as well, is tight. It's usually close to, okay, who's going to win? It's going to come down to the last couple plays and see who has the points. So Dominion's fun. It's been around for a long time, and I feel like they're still putting out expansions. I don't think they are, but
I think they said they weren't, and then they
did.
They do, and then they say they're not, and then they do.
And we've got the second edition. We've got the first edition. Like, I don't know. I just enjoy it. It's not one I want to play all the time. I've got a lot of deck builders, so I didn't go buy this one because I don't feel like it's that unique of a mechanic. But I can see where, if I moved and I was trying to start a gaming group, this might be a game that I would pick up right away to add into the collection, because it's fun for, I think, anybody, whether you're never played a deck builder, new to the mechanic, or you've been playing it for a long time. So good game.
Solid game for sure. So the next game on my list, I like. The company has folded. I don't think they got their second Kickstarter, the expansion to this. So if you see this, I gotta reach too far. If you see this for a decent price, it's worth picking up. But
I was gonna say, not the one that you just had in your hand.
Village Attacks. So think Zombicide, except you are the bad guys. You're in the center of a dungeon. There used to be an old video game, I think it was called Dungeon Keeper or Dungeon Master or something like that, where you were the bad guys and all the heroes were coming into the dungeon to take it over and kill you. That's what this game is. So you're the vampire, and you're the lich, and you're a couple of the others. I forget which guys you are. And I'll play this like three-handed. And, you have all these heroes. I've painted some of the heroes. I enjoy this game. I think this game's fun. I like the pressure of, 4 different doors, pathways coming in, and the mobs coming in with their pitchforks and their torches and everything, and, trying to puzzle that out. I prefer this. This is co-op, so I prefer this solo, because when people don't, really work together, you die.
Not always a bad thing.
But I mean, it's, it is tight enough that you are getting swarmed, and that's what I like about Zombicide is when you're getting swarmed and being able to pull out a win in spite of that. So if you see this for a decent price, Village Attacks, it's worth it if you like the Zombicide-ish type games.
I want to play this at some point. We've talked about that for years because that was
it's been on my list since the beginning, since I got it. So
yeah,
I do enjoy it. I think it's a fun game.
That's it's one I'm interested in for certain. I don't want to play it three-handed, but if Brad would be willing, I will play co-op with him.
Oh yeah, we can try it.
But we also know how to play together well enough, I think, on these.
Like Spirit Island, we talked about.
Gosh, so many. Death May Die. I mean, you name it. So many of them. Zombicide, even though I get yelled at because I'm always like, I want to go. Let's go fight. And he's like, stay back. Stay back.
Something, Toph's brain shuts off on Zombicide. He's like, I just want to go hit stuff.
I do. I don't know why.
The other games he thinks strategically or somewhere, but that one, it just goes away.
Yeah, I don't think strategy at all, really. Well, I do, but no, I don't. Let's just go. Let's just
turns
fight.
into Project Elite, but it's not Project Elite.
But it's so much fun that way.
So Village Attacks, my number 32.
My number 32 is a game that Brad is absolutely fantastic at.
Which means I've always lost.
Brad didn't really lose. Lose is not the word that I would use to describe.
Destroyed?
Well, I don't know. You
that
can
game.
be the one to guess.
Yes.
So
I see it over there.
I struggle to put this on my list just because I haven't played it a whole lot, but I absolutely love the game and I cannot wait to play it again. And it will, I can almost guarantee it, climb in my list, in my rankings.
Ashby's going to play it with us next time. So.
And I'm going to lose. So I'm doing good so
he
far.
Has to have somebody give him a challenge.
Yeah.
It's not me.
That's
it's cool. It's a nice game.
It's a fun game.
Let's
so yes. So it is, thanks to one of you. I have no idea how to pronounce it. Brad calls it Renature. I want to call it Renature because I just want to be different. But Renature, thank you. Best at Star Trek. I had to think who it was. Thank you for making Brad buy this game so I could destroy him in it. It is a lot of fun. It is a puzzle, and it is the puzzle of puzzles in terms of really what are you
abstract
doing?
dominoes with a lot of different things going on in it.
It turns out I like polyomino games.
But this isn't polyomino. Well, this is dominoes.
Yeah, it is dominoes.
This is
I
not
guess
polyomino.
it's not.
But
I do like polyomino too. But yeah, this is more, I guess, dominoes.
This is straight up dominoes.
It's just, I don't know at what point I can say I liked it other than I liked it. Like, what about it was my favorite? I don't know. But I guess that's why I'm thinking polyomino. You're moving these tiles around, these dominoes around to encase open areas where there's a garden and it's not even the bonuses that you're getting out of it. It's just the way that you're playing the limited pieces that you have, because you only have, I think, 3 of them to be able to look at to see to play. The way that you have a little bit of an economic function where you can spend some clouds to change what's wild or to take an extra turn. And, you're always going to have the same number of turns, which we did. I think I was the only one to take 2 turns in a row. And so if I started the game, I don't know, you had 2 turns at the end, I think, or something like that. So you have the same number of tiles. Everybody has the same number of tiles to start with. So the same number of, in the long run, plays. And just being able to see who can do that better, who can close off areas first to get the bonus, who can use your
plants,
trees and your plants,
and bushes and grassland. And
so resource management, which is another thing I love in games a lot more than I like the polyomino side, but resource management, being able to know, okay, I'm going to go ahead and play this here, but I'm going to be able to get it back, or maybe I'm not. So do I want to play it yet? Do I want to hold off, or do I want to play the big one and then therefore never be able to play another tree or bush in that area to gain points again? Because all I have are smaller trees or bushes to be able to put into it. So just kind of that back and forth of puzzling out what's going to happen and when. And I loved it. I really did. So Renature, Brad lost by 1 or 2 points or 100.
100 or 200 points. A lot of points.
Yeah, I don't know why you didn't win, or at least didn't come closer to it.
Mhm.
That's me probably being a jerk by saying that, but I don't mean that in a jerk way, because I see you doing well at things like this too, like the
Mhm.
puzzling of things. He loves to chain things together. He likes to get those points, and that there is a bit of that in terms of the points in this game. So might just need to play it again,
It was good. We will definitely play it again.
and we will lose if we're playing against Ashby.
So my next one and the last one on this list is number 31. This is Toph's. You got this used. I really like this game. I'm surprised.
Oh,
I've been wanting to play this game, but I was surprised how much I like it. And we like it enough, we always play it more than once when we sit down. And that's Orléans. Orléans. So this is a really good game. It's been around for a while. I think this one you have comes with several other expansions that are already in the box.
Well,
And this
the game
isn't
didn't
like the
come
newest one.
Yeah, the game didn't come with the expansions, but I bought it used, and whoever sold it
Okay.
had expansions in it. So there's 1 or 2 expansions
Got it.
with it.
But it doesn't. It says 90 minutes. This does not take 90 minutes to play.
We're playing it wrong.
Yeah, we're under an hour every time. We play
Mhm.
this twice in 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Easily, and it's a good. I don't know how to explain it. How do you explain it? It's just a good game. I can't even explain it.
So it's a bag builder, and you are.
And I'm not a huge bag builder person.
No, you're not.
You know, it's not my favorite. I mean, it's not a bad mechanic, but like Quaxoquellenberg didn't make my list.
Mm-hmm.
I do like Wonderland's War, and that's as a bag, but you know, it's still like, I guess reason I'm saying that is this one stands out among bag builders.
Yeah. Well,
'Cause for me to actually like it, and it's, you know, sitting here at number 31, this is a really good game.
yeah, you take a game like Warp's Edge or even Wonderland's War, and you know the tile you're pulling out is going to have a lot more direct impact of good or bad. Whereas with this, you have a tableau, and what you're pulling out, you don't have to only put it in one place, or you don't have to say this is a good or a bad tile. You can kind of do multiple things. Yeah. Now, eventually, you're going to run out of space because you gotta complete the areas to get the tiles back to put them back in your bag. But that gives a little bit more of a strategy feel to the randomization of a bag builder. And the tiles, you know, as you're going through, I think we kind of ignored the map a little bit. Not completely, but I think we probably should do more in the map. We did the same with Age of Comics. We didn't do a whole lot in the map on that one either, but with this one, just, you know, I think of it solely as the tableau. That's what shines for me in Orléans, is just building that out and seeing how you're going to be able to get through the benefits that you need to do what you got to do on the board.
Well, and the building of the bag.
Yeah.
To then be able to do what you want on
Which
your
is-
board.
which
Like,
is what
you know,
you're
like
doing on
that mechanism, that
Mhm.
it's fun. And the fact that it doesn't take, like, I really thought this was going to take a lot longer. And then when it wasn't, and I'm like, I want to play it again. It's not a 20-minute game, but it's
Yeah.
not a 90-minute game.
Yeah, and it's a good engine builder, and I think it again. So Terraforming Mars, you know, with this one, the tiles that are coming out, there's not a whole lot of them, so you can start to get to know what's on them, but it's not the 500 card random draw either. And so, you know, battling to try to get the tiles and add that in a way that works for you and your engine. It's a lot of fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very good. So
I like
that's
it.
my number 31, last of this list.
Awesome. My number 31 is from one of my absolute favorite designers of all times. And you actually have already had this on your list as well. And we're going to get into some big boxes.
Oh, yeah.
Vitel Lacerda, the Gallerist.
It's a good game.
This has worker placement.
So now we're into Toph's top 30 worker placement games. Top 30 Euro worker placement games coming up.
There's some non-worker placements on my
Yeah,
list.
I'm sure.
But the Gallerist is a lot of fun, and that I think, to me, it feels a lot lighter weight than the other Lacerdas that we have played. I don't think it's a lot lighter weight than the others,
but it does feel like
it does feel, yeah, it does feel that way, and it's unique enough that you're getting out of some of the feel of. Maybe this is why I think it feels a little bit lighter weight. You're taking your placement, your worker placement actions, and you're going into only a few little areas. And are you dropping off your apprentice? Or are you taking your apprentice with you? Like, what are you doing with it? There's not a lot of places to go, and there's not a lot of things to do in those areas. So where like viticulture is fantastic, viticulture has a lot more places to go, or at least it feels like there's a lot more places to go to be able to take your actions. With this, it's going to be a little bit more tight, and almost it feels like the actions you're taking in those locations are going to be smaller. But as you start to build up your engine, you can start to capitalize on doing some pretty cool things.
So you get into the foyer, but then you want to go into the next, into the art gallery itself, and what do you have to do to make that happen?
How are you making your sales? How are you, adding your art into your collection? Those type of things. It's just fun. Some of the gimmicky things like putting the tiles in the little easels I could do without, but the game itself is solid and it plays well. We don't play this a whole lot. I feel like this is, of all the Lacerdas we have played so far, the most accessible of them.
Yeah, I would say this is the entry level, but you still like have to get pulled in by your favorite theme of a Lacerda game.
Yeah, you're gonna see similar engine building and worker placement and stuff like that in a lot of his games, but it's just fun. Bot Factory I think was lighter weight, but I almost feel like this is more accessible than Bot Factory is. I don't know. Maybe it's just the way that it plays to me. I don't know. Bot Factory I liked a whole lot too.
Yeah, Bot Factory is, at most a 3. At most.
Yeah. And this is just over it, but that's about what, 3.25? Yeah, 3.5. Yeah,
it's probably 3.5.
Is.
Like anything.
Actually, I think it's like 3.7 something.
Yeah, so like that's what I mean.
Maybe
like,
it's not so lightweight.
It's not a midweight game, but it is if you're wanting to really start pushing into 4s.
Yeah.
This can be one of the gateway into a really heavy game.
I think it can. I think it's something that, especially if you like art. I don't really. I mean, I do. I can appreciate it, but I don't appreciate it like
you like
do.
complexity.
But if you like engine building and worker placement and complexity in games, doesn't matter what the theme is. Might as well go with the gallerist.
There you go.
So no, actually, a whole lot of fun. Love it. Glad it's in my collection.
So that's our 40 to 31. What do you guys think? Which games do you think deserve to be in this area? Which games do you think should be, like closer to 1 or further to 100 or not on a list at all because you can't stand them?
Yeah. There's possibilities of that. Actually, we probably have some games that y'all are going to say absolutely not to.
Yeah. But comment down below. We would like to know.
Yeah. If you enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, we would love to have you hanging around, sitting at the table with us as we go through lists and pick on each other and reviews. And Brad makes me feel uncomfortable, and I can just feel it right now. No. So anyways, thank you guys. Hope you all have a wonderful day.
And just remember, no matter how you play, whether it's solo, with family, or friends,
enjoy whatever games you are bringing to the table.
Have a great night.